how to tackle AI. And if you sit down and just scribble down a couple of things, where are we? Right, if you imagine to be at Deutsche Telekom. We actually have tons of repetitive processes. Across the globe, we have approximately 160 million mobile phone customers alone, and you can imagine that that creates a number of repetitive things that are to be done with those customers and internally. So we really have a lot to automate, if you like. Then secondly, all those customers and all the processes, the internal processes, create tons of data. We are not Google and we are not Facebook. We have different kinds of data partly, but we do have a lot of data. So a lot of stuff to have AI work on if you find the right place. And then obviously this is why we're here at Rise of AI. It's the right time for any organization to start looking deeply into AI for a number of reasons which have been quoted back and forth. I don't have to repeat that. Right. And there, my little earmark. Then, secondly, there is a lot of enthusiasm on AI, tick, but there's also a lot of doubt and a lot of fear, and that is across the country, but also within the organizations, obviously, because people fear their jobs are being automated away. So there is a very strange mixture of feelings towards AI. And in that situation, if you're convinced, coming back to the why, that you want to work with AI to improve your organization, what is your tactics, what is your strategy to go into the organization? And there could be different games you could play. Number one could be the classic big surprise game. You could like build up AI skunkworks somewhere, develop something until you think that's the right product, the right process support, and then go to your core organization and say, haha, hello, we've got something new. How do you like it? And that might not always work perfectly. So we didn't choose that path. Second one would be Grassroot Approach. Like you just let AI happen somehow with the scattered and few and far between resources a normal organization has in terms of deep AI knowledge. So you hope that people just grow by themselves because it's a hype topic. We feel you stretch out existing resources too far if you do that, and nothing really will happen. There is no focus. The third approach would be the classic big organization brute force from above approach. So the CEO is saying, come on, everybody now has to do something with AI across the organization. There are some interesting examples with interesting players, like for instance Amazon. I understand the boss has at some point says each new system has to have an API so we can plug into the data. That's a good approach, but for the use of AI in an organization like ours, I don't think that works. Just having our CEO say, look, wherever you want to use AI, wherever you feel you can use AI, please do it. Why is that? Because in each and every corner, completely unguided, people would feel pressure to do it, even if it's not useful in that spot, or if we, again, would use our resources in the wrong spot. What we feel is the best approach, and you might have guessed, because it's in the title of my talk, is the trust game. Have enough resources in one spot, and then create trust across the organization that it's right to work with you and right to work on AI. Right? So the trust game. This is what I will focus on the next few minutes. How do you generate trust in organization with, as I said earlier, where we are, with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of fear, a lot of hype, and a lot of misunderstanding what AI really is and can do? How do you create trust for what you are doing in AI in such an organization? So this is what we need. Number one is rigorous focus. Sounds easy, mundane, always said, but what we have done is we've started more than 2.5 years ago to work on AI, and we have more or less exclusively worked on building bots. It's mainly text bots, but also bots you can talk to, which are not yet out on the market, but we work on it. But we have completely focused on it with quite a lot of resource. And a number of people I met in the company said, "Oh, now you're building that AI, great! You can do this and that and that and that and that with it if you've got that AI." And they thought of a general artificial intelligence kind of brain because they didn't know enough about it and thought it could do anything. And kind of had that expectation that we would go into all of their problem fields. And we always had to say no. We're close to going into new directions already 1.5 years ago, and we said, no, we don't do it. We just keep that focus, which was pretty helpful for us because that was a key driver because we could actually show something then by focusing that created trust. Number 2, trust through fast delivery. To a point where we actually, when we started 2.5 years back, we took a lot of time, a better part of a year or even more than a year from some perspectives, working in this field of bots without ever touching in operative systems AI. Right? Because we wanted to be really fast in the market with this new dialogue logic, how to interact with people, and there was a lot to be gained by actually learning how to use dialogue systems that are rule-based. And we had a bot out on the market. We iterated in front of customers all the time, fast iterations, and learned a lot in doing so. And obviously, while we did that, we also scouted the market intensively and did a lot of POCs with AI. But it was more than a year later that we actually introduced the first real AI solution in front of customers. So we went that fast to deliver. We went that far to actually deliver fast in front of customers, iterating with users. Also, that had a lot to do with the trust we gained internally, because people really saw we just do things and don't create moonshots, right? Or think about moonshots. So small victories, small and fast victories, and not going for the AI moonshots that many people in a large organization might want you to do if you go into AI, because there is so much talk about it. And then thirdly, and maybe that's even the most important thing, from day one, even from second one, this was not an R&D project done somewhere, but we worked closely as one team in one project with the business side. So I'm working in R&D, or more D than R, and that was the success ingredient for us. One team with, for instance, in our case, we started in Austria with our Austrian subsidiary, with the e-business team down there who really wanted it. We saw the glowing in their eyes, and that persuaded us, these are our partners we can really have success with. Right? And that was really not only at the start, but all through the journey with new customers we onboarded. Every time from day one we worked with them. Okay, so these are the key 3 drivers we felt really helped us, or feel that really helped us to be successful on that journey, to build trust. And then there's one more thing we almost forgot, trust with our customers and in a larger sense with society. In this field of fear and doubt, which are also encircling AI a little bit. And I think 1 or 2 weeks back, Deutsche Telekom has published AI guidelines. So a number of guidelines how we want to work with AI that we feel should go a long way in generating trust in us and how we deal with that topic. Obviously that includes data towards our customers and society at large. I'm not going into details, you'll find them online, they are on our corporate website, and I think they are great. They really tell you a lot about the way we work. Okay. And now, for the few remaining minutes, I've got a counter here, just so that's great. 7 more minutes. A little bit about the what are we actually doing? So I said we build bots, or have been building bots until end of last year. That was our exclusive focus. Part of it looks like this. We started here. That is what I told you about. That was the rule-based bot we've launched, that actually had been launched when we started the project in a pretty simple fashion in Austria. We improved on it in a number of dimensions. We introduced new media formats right in the chat flow. We've integrated a handover to a live agent if the bot comes to the end of its knowledge. By the way, it's called Tinker, the bot, and that's why you see it up there. So within the chat flow, you can switch from the system to a live agent, just continue seamlessly your chat. It's got back-end integration and so forth. So it's far beyond a simple bot you built in a couple of weeks, but it was still on a rule based on a rule-based system. And then we had our new AI system. We chose our external partner we work with. And then we thought, do we now wait until we have feature parity for that system? And then are courageous enough to switch to the new AI system? No. And that was, again, a matter of trust on our internal partner side. We decided to launch it very early on, when we didn't have we haven't been even near to feature parity to the existing bot. And what we did was we let Tinker introduce the new bot first thing you saw her. So you open our rule-based bot and it says, hey, do you want to meet the new Tinker? It's early on, but you can try it out now. So we got feedback for our new bot early on. That was a bit more than a year ago. And now just approximately 4 weeks ago, we switched completely to the AI bot. So now we've got a fully advanced and scalable system in front of customers. It looks like this in Austria. And with a little bit of delay, but they caught up quite nicely. We did more or less the same for our largest subsidiary, which is Deutsche Telekom Germany. And this is what you see here on the right. So we have a pretty similar chatbot out here. All of these chatbots are for customer service, purely, right? So that's, again, a matter of focus. We decided to start very much focused on customer service issues. Obviously, it was a starting point that also has tons of potential, because in customer service, there's a lot to be gained if you automate away the highly repetitive questions and dialogues that happen each and every day in our call centers. So that's, if you like, the business case, obviously, behind it. We are doing a lot more. As I said, we are also working on voice bots that you can call and talk to. We are building systems that are not customer-facing, but agent-facing, so our agents have more immediate and more clever access to information when you are on the line with them, and some more stuff. So that was our main focus. Now, the title of the talk was not only trust, but also scaling. And all the trust we've built internally also enable us now to go beyond bots. And this is what we've started earlier this year. And it looks like this. Everything I've told you what we've done in the what so far, we call smart dialogues. And if this is a chain of IT systems here, then we've been focusing on the talking front end. Right? And obviously we continue on that work. The journey is not yet done. So there's a lot more to do, a lot more backend integration into systems, a lot more dialogue breadth and so forth. But we now go into 2 new fields. One field is these systems, these IT systems, if there's a process running across the IT systems, for instance, the bot is selling you something, if we go into sales, and you want it to be implemented more automatically than it's done today. What is happening is that you have manual breaks between the systems. So in effect, an operator is reading screen A of system A and typing into screen B of system B. Not all across the system, but that happens in all kinds of companies. That has created a new industry of its own, which is called robotic process automation, many of you know. And robotic process automation is also a rule-based world. So you have simple algorithms that read one screen and decide what to click on the next screen. And we feel that there is a world behind or beyond robotic process automation driven by AI, and this is exactly what we are looking at, here. So automating away these manual breaks between individual IT systems beyond classic robotic process automation. And the third bit 2 more minutes. The third bit here is what we call smart decisioning, so that is really going deep into one system, look at the data, and derive, using machine learning, better, faster, more efficient analytics of the data, and actually then also prescriptions, so actually action advice, what to do based on the data in a number of fields. And what we find so far that there is tons of finance use cases, for instance, that really can help a company. A lot of use cases. We are finding we actually have a very long backlog of stuff we would love to do if we had more capacity for it. So this is our journey. We just started. Actually, many people have told me we started a little bit at the tough end with natural language, and we are now going into the easier fields. Not so much true here. This is pretty complicated too, because in a corporate you have pretty complicated systems and system landscapes, legacy systems, old systems, new systems that speak or don't speak to each other. So that is complicated. This is nimbler. You can find smaller use cases and can be pretty fast here. So already in the first month of the year, we've been pretty successful in this field with actual output. That's it. And we have half a minute of questions. 4 questions, if you like. Are there any? Yes.
What's next? So what is the next focus of your development group? Now the bot is partially done. What comes next?
Well, beyond the 3 fields, so that is already an expansion that is ongoing, and we will most likely continue to work in all 3 fields. There are new ideas, new phases within these 3 blocks. There could be other blocks which we are thinking about now, not yet done, so I couldn't really tell you, but we see a lot of potential to continue the journey. As I said in the beginning, so coming back to the why, there is a lot to do. Other questions? That's a clear no, so we're in time. Thank you very much.